We have been seeing big names in the industry quit. Okay. And is that causing fear for you? Is that causing anxiety for you? Are you like, how do I keep myself from being in that position? Maybe you can't imagine getting to that space. Maybe you're like, listen, I can't imagine making 7 figures, making 8 figures, and then just quitting. Like, I can't imagine that. I want to talk about it because this is not the first time and this won't be the last time. I have seen this over the years. I've been full-time in my business since 2016, but when I was in the online space, 2014, 2015, 2016 as well, like there are so many people that I don't see anymore. There are so many coaches, content creators, influencers, big names who I don't know where they are. And then there's like people that I was in programs with and women I was in like masterminds and stuff with that I can't even remember their names. I just want to let this be a reminder for you of a couple things that I personally like to advise my clients on. So we've heard about the Vanessa, I believe her last name is Lau, something like that. I don't follow her a ton, but I did see all this commotion about her like leaving the space a year ago. She has like a multiple 7-figure business, re-emerging back and letting people know why she left all the things.
Last year, I decided to leave social media and go ghost mode. I put up this announcement to my followers, letting them know that I was taking an indefinite break. I had no idea when I was coming back. And I ultimately decided to dissolve my business.
So here's my thoughts on this, but this is really so that it helps you. I am all about understanding what your deepest, most powerful message is. That is what I have worked on every single day. For the last 8+ years, right? Women have come to me and said, Kiara, how are you consistently showing up? How do you consistently create content? How do you talk about the same thing, but yet you have so much passion for it? You are like always coming up with a new way to say the same thing, but it doesn't feel like the same thing. Like, how do you do that? Y'all, I'm downstairs. I'm making cupcakes. I'm baking some chicken. You might my oven beep. And Jax wants to make a cameo as well. That's the baby puppy. That's Jaxie. So he's like, yeah, all right. And then his brother is over there just doing his thing. So now they're about to go and try to talk to each other. And there we go. This is real life, y'all. Y'all, this video right here is extra real life. So here's the biggest thing that I want to say on this. You need to get to this place where you step into your most aligned and authentic message. There is something that I truly believe. When you are talking about something that is truly of your purpose, I do not believe there becomes this point where you lose it. When you are talking about the thing that you are truly here to talk about, when you're sharing the message that is the most powerful, truest, purposeful message on your heart, I don't believe that you're going to lose interest in that. I really don't. So if anyone is watching this and you're holding yourself back from showing up because you're like, I don't want to waste all this time. I don't want to put all this time and energy, the investment, all the things. I'm like, what if you're projecting into the future? The future hasn't happened yet. So all of that are lies. They're all lies. Okay. You are literally projecting lies upon where you are today. Okay. And so we don't know where you're going to be in a year. We don't know where you're going to be in 3 years, but you know what we know for sure? If you don't take this next step now, we won't know. Okay. So I want you to be in a space where you understand the power of messaging. And I have lived and breathed and taught this for so long. And yes, there's this messaging strategy of it. And I have a whole messaging playlist that you can go ahead and download and you can go ahead and use. Okay. But the biggest thing that I want you to hear in this moment is the messaging mindset. So this is why when I'm working with women in my, program, in my Money in the Message Inner Circle, I'm talking to them about the mindset that they have about the message, as well as, the strategy part, the mindset of being able to give yourself permission to show up and to be seen and to talk about the thing that you feel most called to talk about. Sometimes, okay, I see, sometimes I see it all the time. So many women who are talking about the thing that they think will make them money. They're talking about the thing that someone else said, oh yeah, you're really good at that, go do that. But yet you really want to go over here and do this. In a short story, I started my first business. If you don't know, I love accessories. Okay. I love jewelry. As a plus size woman, I could always use accessories to amp up my look. So my first business was actually my first legit business. Okay. Like the one that was actually registered and all that. When I talking about when I was 8 years old, 14 years old, all that. My first business was actually an online accessory boutique while I was in my corporate full-time job as a sales consultant, okay? And I ran that business, and immediately I remember hiring my very first coach in that business, who I'm now in like programs with and peers with and all that. But I remember hiring her to help me with that business. And I remember our very first session, and I was like, this is what a coach does? Our very first session. And she's like, Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, this is kind of like what I do by my day, like by day, like in my day job as a consultant, but except, there's some other coaching elements too. And I was like, oh my God, I think that's what I'm supposed to do. And I can remember her because sometimes when people are new in business, they have like shiny object syndrome. You're like, squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. Let me do this. Let me do this. And so she's like, listen, let's stay focused on what you just hired me to help you with. And I did. But let me tell you something. It did not leave me. It did not leave any part of my body. So when something is truly meant for you, and you keep thinking about it, you keep writing sticky notes about it, you keep doodling about it, you keep thinking about it, like you have a message that's inside of you that you're wanting to share and put into the world. My love, it is time for you to give yourself permission to do it. So that's first and foremost. Be careful looking at people who quote unquote quit their business when truly and honestly, this is my truth, okay? Were they actually in alignment with their most highest, most powerful, authentic message? You got to be careful. And one, we may not ever know for some people, but that's also none of our business. Let's worry about you. Are you in alignment with your most powerful message? That is within you. So when women come to me to work together and they're like, here, I want to help me find my message. And I'm like, no, I don't help you find anything. I help you get into a space of power with the message that you were truly meant to be sharing into the world. I help you get into deeper clarity with it. I help you get into deeper confidence with it. I help you to step into a deeper place of conviction with it. We package it, we position it. I have a way of extracting it out of you, and you think that I'm like finding it. That's not that I'm not source. Oh, no. I'm just clear on what my gift is. And my gift is knowing what questions to ask, the exercises. I've spent years and years building templates and building processes and having a system using my messaging method to help thousands of women extract their next level message, their most powerful message. Because I've had women come into work with me who didn't have a powerful aligned message. They were doing the thing their last coach told them to do. They were doing the thing that they saw on a YouTube video that they got inspired. They saw somebody make a lot of money from. You cannot sustain what is not aligned. So I can't go, I can't not, I can talk about that forever. Stepping into your power message. That is something that I'm so passionate about helping women do, because I don't want to see you 5 years from now. I don't want to see you 10 years from now say that you burnt your whole business down because it was never really something that was in alignment to you. I have women who've been in business for 5 years, 10 years, 20 plus years. And I am so grateful that these women give themselves permission to tap into their power message and just allow me to help them continue to amplify it. So that's number one. Are you in alignment with your most powerful message? And if you're not, get support. I would love to help you with that inside of Money in the Message. All right, here is the second thing. And go ahead and grab my free messaging workbook. We'll put it somewhere around this video so that you can go ahead and grab that, because that'll help you too. Principle number one is all about connecting with you. All right, number two, when I look at these big gurus who quit, you're like, oh my gosh, should I do it? Should I not go forward with, my content, with my messaging, with my business, with this or that? Because I'm afraid I might quit, I might lose interest, blah, blah. Here's the second thing. Once you're in massive alignment with what it is that you are talking about and what you're sharing, the second thing is you also have to give yourself permission to pivot. There are going to be times as a human being, you're going to grow, because I believe God has each of us on a path, and of whom you have faith, okay? I know God has me on a path. And so what I know is that although I've always talked about messaging and being visible and amplifying your confidence about showing up and speaking and selling, I also know that there's been different layers. It's like an onion. I've been peeling those things back. And you want to know why? Because of the things I've gone through in my life. There are certain times where I have been massively confident, and y'all, believe it or not, there have been times I've kind of questioned myself and I've doubted my own gift. And I understand though that God needed me to go through those moments because there was a deeper message there. I can remember when I used to coach and I used to bring a lot of sales strategy, because that was my corporate background, right? Handling 5, 6, 7-figure clients in my corporate job, growing it by double digits. And I was like, oh, sales strategy. And women would come to me, sales strategy, sales strategy. And, they would have success. Their first highest 4-figure month, their highest 5-figure month, sign their first 5-figure client, all that. And I was so into the strategy. But then I would look at some of these women like, there is something missing there. And it was the mindset. It was the belief. It was the conviction. It was the confidence. It was them giving themselves permission that, yes, I get to be seen with the message that I have. I get to be heard with my voice. I get to own it. I get to be all of who I am. I don't have to be anybody else. I don't have to be anything else other than who I am. I just need to exist in that. I need to own that. And when I own that, oh my goodness, how I show up on YouTube, in my podcast, in my, live streams, in my business, in my brand, when I'm on stage, when I'm creating content, all the things just flow from me. And so giving yourself that permission to pivot when it does feel right, is important. And sometimes that pivot isn't huge. So for me, when I was doing only sales strategy, then I was like, oh my gosh, I have to add in this messaging mindset, this visibility mindset, the sales mindset of it all. That was the missing piece. So now I get to do the sales and messaging strategy with the sales and messaging and visibility mindset. And together they're stronger. But I remember questioning it. I remember wondering, do I have to burn everything down? But it really was, no, I'm being invited to a deeper layer. And I know that I'm going through that so that I can now bring that to my clients. So it was me knowing, Kira, you know how to sell. Why are you having a low month right now? Okay, what's going on? Oh, it's your mindset. It's your up-leveling mindset, which is actually one of the 6 pillars that I talk about that distract women and hold them back from making the money and showing up and all the things. It's your mindset about up-leveling. I was raised by a single mother. I was raised in this very like hustle, 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 go mode. So when I got to have my biggest months, I was like, oh my God, what did I do? Am I going to be able to sustain this? No, I'm not comfortable here. Freak out. Let's go back down. Let's contract. Right? I would find ways to self-sabotage my success. And I had to get over that. And so me being able to understand those things for myself, I'm like, this is what's going on with clients. They'll have their biggest month. They'll be really confident for 1 week, for 1 month, for 1 quarter. They'll have their best year. And then they will like go down. It will feel uncomfortable. They'll hide. Okay. So I want you to know that, yes, there's going to be moments where you get to give yourself permission to pivot. What I want to say from there is that, my love, you need to give yourself permission to pivot when you are feeling it. And not like, I felt it today, let me do it today. When it's like, listen, I hear this. Let me put this on the parking lot. Let me put this in the futures list and let me pay attention. But if I'm hearing this for days at a time, if I'm hearing this for months at a time, and I'm super clear, this is not a confidence, I'm doubting myself kind of thing. This is really feeling like a very empowered invitation from God. You know what? Let me at least explore it. So you are going to have to be open, because what I believe and what I have seen from clients myself is that they will stay in those places too long. They'll be like, oh yeah, I thought I may need to do that. I'm like, why didn't you bring it up? We could have done coaching. Well, I didn't think it was a big deal. And again, the first 1 or 2 thoughts about it, okay. But when it's like something that keeps coming up, and again, it's not a place of doubt. It's like, oh my goodness, I really am feeling called. Like with me, when I first started my business, right? I'm doing the boutique and I'm like, oh my God, like it was like a mosquito. It just wouldn't leave me. The true message that you are meant to most share in the world will not leave you. It won't. It's going to be that mosquito. It's going to keep coming in your face. Okay. And it's up to you to honor that. So make sure that you are in places of support to help you in those moments of pivoting, because sometimes I see women burn everything down when it literally was like, at least for my clients, I catch them. I'm like, oh, you just got to tweak this, and this. And they're like, how did you see that so clearly? And so I want you to be in a space where you give yourself that permission to think about if it really is just you needing to give yourself permission to pivot.
I want to share with you 2 resources that have helped me whenever I've been in a space of feeling disconnected with my business, with my brand, with my message. I have watched this process not only help me, but help my clients. At several points in my life, really, I have been this unstoppable overachiever, and you probably have been too. Success is kind of addictive, right? But here's the thing. There comes a time where something just feels massively off, and it just feels like something is completely missing. And so there are 2 major shifts that I made in my journey as an entrepreneur. At this point, 8 years, at the time of this recording, 8 years full time, but I didn't even know that I was building a process when I was going through this. All I wanted to do was pull my hair out. I was so frustrated. I was overwhelmed, all the things. But these 2 steps, these 2 processes have helped me so much. And I've been able to give this and teach this and like walk through this with my clients and help them process it and all the things. So I want to give you a chance to have this impact as well. This has helped me get into deeper alignment with my offers, my business model, my pricing, my audience, my message, my clients, but most importantly with myself, like with my life. How do I really want to run my business? What's the schedule that I desire? How do I want to experience life? How do I want to make sure that I'm still being able to experience this success that we're sitting here, we're creating in our life, in our relationships, in our homes, all the things. So I want to walk you through both of these. Now you can grab both of them. I highly recommend it, but I'll go through each one. So really quickly, my Realign to Shine course is going to help you step into deeper alignment with your business. The first thing you're going to dive into is the regrounding that you need to step into alignment. So I have a workbook that is there for you. You're going to go into about 6 different key phases. This just kind of helps you reground yourself as you step into alignment around, do I feel like serving myself is selfish? Who am I really in business for? Let go of the rules, let's burn down the next level pedestal. So there's going to be some regrounding things there. Then module 2, you're going to actually step into the alignment assessment. This is gold. Literally, I have taken myself through this. I've taken hundreds and hundreds of clients through this. It helps you sit down and get a full picture of what really is working in my business. What do I really desire? And how do we merge those things together, it is pure gold. If you're looking for like an action step plan, it's going to be the foundation, because then it sets you up for module 3, which dives into your next level vision, which is only a 6-minute video. If you can't see, like, all of these videos are like super, like 12 minutes, 17 minutes, 9 minutes. They're meant to be things that you can kind of go through within a couple of minutes and get some key information. So the information is something without implementation, right? So we got to make some decisions. So once you do the visioning exercise, then you're going to get into clarity, make some commitments, and then, my love, you are going to be making decisions. Plus, mind trash tends to come up here, so you're going to be able to identify any mind trash that is coming up for you. And, my love, that is going to set you up for the next part of this, which this was Realign to Shine was the first phase that I went through. And when I tell y'all I went through this, I signed my first couple of 5-figure clients after I went through the Realign to Shine phase. I was able to have a $30,000 completely inspired launch literally in a week, 5 days, and it truly was me like giving myself that space to like step into alignment. Once I stepped into that alignment, I continued to see ways that I needed to go back through the process. So that's when I started to really make this into a process. I was like, oh, I need to teach my clients this and help them go through it. But then as I grew and, surpassed, like hit multiple 6 figures after going through this process, I then came back maybe a year or two later and created the next step, which was really permission to pivot. And then I realized the two of these went together. So level 1, if you're like, oh, I don't know, I need to be in alignment, grab the Realign to Shine course. But I definitely recommend both together because part 2 is the permission to pivot course. And that's really going to be for those who are like, all right, I've done, I've assessed, I've understood what would help me get into alignment, but I had some mind trash coming up in this last lesson. So the permission to pivot is going to be an opportunity for you to go through those deeper pivoting points that you need to. And these are not just courses where you just go through them, you rush through them. If you allow them to be, they will present to you so much information. In the permission to pivot, I break down my permission to pivot principles, where really it helps you immerse yourself into this deeper place of self-clarity, self-awareness, really start the process of clearing out the old rules and the beliefs and the stories, the things that have been holding you back from really taking that alignment, taking permission, owning your power, all the things, right? And it's stopping you from building the life and the business that you truly desire with intention and with this deeper inner fulfillment, but also making the money too, honey. So if you are ready to stop hiding, to stop holding back, to stop second guessing yourself, to stop not trusting yourself, to stop doubting yourself, if you're ready to truly shine, I highly recommend you to grab at least a Realign to Shine course to get started and get into deeper alignment, and then definitely pair it with the permission to pivot course so that it can really lock this in for you. And there might be a bonus or two once you go ahead and grab them, where you'll be able to get some direct coaching from me when you purchase your courses. All right, love, let's get back to the video.
So my love, I hope that this supports you. Step into your most powerful aligned message. Give yourself permission to pivot when it feels right. And 3, make sure that you are building an aligned business model that's going to be sustainable for you. I have a video all about comparison that you could go ahead and grab. We will put that somewhere around this video so that you can see it if you are in a space where you are constantly comparing yourself. But my love, I hope that allows you to give yourself this permission to speak your most powerful message that you are here to say. I want you to trust it. And if there is something else coming up on that, make sure that you drop it in the comments below. And make sure you share this video with a biz bestie, a mastermind sister, an accountability buddy, a woman who's ready to master, monetize, and market her message even more powerfully. And until next time, sending you lots of love, shine, and success. Bye, y'all.